Mic check, mic check. 1, 2, 3. If you guys would, could you type yes if you guys can hear me all right? All right, what's up, guys? Everybody, guys and gals. Happy Sunday. It's a little late. We're doing this a little late. My time, it's 8:45 p.m. I hope it's not really too late for you guys. Sorry I'm getting a little bit of a late start on this. Had a lot going on this weekend, and I really wanted to prepare before I did this Sunday talk because I feel there's a lot of very important information that I want to cover and prepare and go over with you guys because there was a lot that happened last week. A lot. Now, I know a lot of people struggled last week. A lot of people did. There's a lot of little notices that you had to be very observant of what's going on. And we're going to talk about all of that and cover that. And we're also going to throw a lot of stocks on the list. So, what I normally like to do going over into the weekend, Saturdays, I kick back and chill. I sleep in, I enjoy the day, I reset my body, my mind. I go out, have a little fun, maybe go shopping or just stay in and watch TV, watch a few movies. Sunday, I do the same thing. I like to sleep in a little bit, wake up, reset my mind, my body, and then going into the afternoon, evening on Sundays, that's when I'll sit down, I'll fire everything up, and I'll go over everything that happened last week. I'll go over trades that I took, stocks that popped up. How did they perform the following days after they had their number 1 day move? Take little notices. Look at the sectors, the indexes. Go over in my notebook. I tell you guys in the Discord, if you're a part of the community, you should have a notebook and a pen in front of you at all times. And you're just randomly jotting down little notes, little thoughts, stocks, taking notes. Then over the weekend, going back through your notes. And you'll be surprised what, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Let me look into that. Or you wrote down a little note. Got a lot of FOMO trading this and just totally screwed it up. Ticker symbol SOS and then the date or something like that. Going back and reviewing your thoughts. How are you feeling? This is how you adapt and you learn and you improve. So it gave you guys all the alert that I went live. We'll jump into the Monday chat and we'll just start going over and adding stocks onto the list of what we want to keep an eye on going into next week. So the whole purpose of this Sunday stock talk and preparing a list for the upcoming week, we don't know what's going to gap up Monday morning. So Monday morning, there could be a couple stocks, 5 stocks, 10 stocks that are gapping up and in play. But then again, there may be no stocks that are gapping up in play. That's when we could have a back burner watch list and we have all kinds of tickers we can fall back on. So let's say 4 tickers pop up Monday morning, and they really don't interest us much. But we have 10 other tickers that we looked into over the weekend, and we can keep an eye on those as well as back burner plays. That's what I like to do. You guys, pretty much, if you're part of this community, how many times do I play the number one stock on the day? Very rarely. I'm always paying attention to the stocks that were in play either yesterday, the day before, or 4 or 5 days ago. To me, that's where the easy money is. Stocks that people forget about and they move on to the biggest and greatest thing. So a reoccurring theme last week was, and I think everybody kind of observed this, volume was super light last week. It really was. It seemed like every single day we were losing more and more volume. And if you look on Finviz, I have it up right here. Sorry if this is a bit that blinded you guys. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna go grab something to drink. Yeah, Rich C. Where's Dub? Bud leading while golfing. Oh boy. At the end of his little trader game time, he had me laughing with his buddies about which teams were against which team. Looks like those guys have a lot of fun when they go out golfing. Alright, so we look at all the sectors here. And Finviz, technology for the week was the number 1 percentage gainer for the whole week. But what I want to look at, and let me load up my pen here. If you guys don't have this little epic pen, this thing is so cool. And I use it all the time when I'm marking up my charts and stuff. It beats pulling up those drawing tools and fumbling around with that when I can just quickly click on something and change the color and the thickness of it. But with the sectors here, look at the average volume right here. So average volume for technology is at 1.7 billion. Friday, it only did 1 billion in volume. And if you look at the relative volume was at 0.60. So this is telling me right here that volume already was weak with that on it. And real quickly, I want to go over I got some notes here. All right, guys. So most people going into trading and the stock market, remember the statistic that I mentioned a while ago. Back in January, Robinhood opened up 600,000 new accounts just for January. And we know the statistic, 95% of traders fail in this game. So we're about to be seeing a lot of people blow up their accounts. This is what's going to happen. Most of the people that are putting their money into the stock market right now and getting involved with day trading, most of them do not have a process. They don't have a plan every single trade. And what they've been doing over and over and over again is getting in on a stock or a trade, holding on to it for a few days, and the stock has always came back and pushed up even higher. Last week, that didn't happen. So look at a lot of reoccurring themes last week. Ticker symbol CEMI was the #1 stock on Monday. And you could see right here on Monday, it was up and in play. But then after that, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just completely faded off. So now these people who have bought and they've been holding on to it for 2, 3, 4 days, and it's been coming right back up and surpassing, and it's been making them money. Now we have bag holders on CEMI. From $6 all the way down to $4, they're down $2 a share. And every single day, they're like, oh, I hope it comes back. I hope this stock comes back. And now their money's tied up. Now, if other opportunities come in and arise, they can't take advantage of it because all of their money is tied up in this stock right here. And if you don't believe me and you're saying, well, Dave, this is only one stock. There's over 7,000 stocks in the market. Well, being very alert and observant of the reoccurring theme that keeps going on and on. This is CEMI. I have other stocks too, like SOS. SOS was in play right here at $6. They all got trapped, and now the stock faded off 1 day, 2 day. Now we're going into Monday. This is probably going to gap down and drop lower, and everybody's stuck in up here at $6, and the stock is going down to $5, below $5. So bag holders, they've been getting lucky and lucky and lucky and lucky. Then when it stops working, they all start blowing up their accounts, and then they start realizing, this is a lot harder than I thought. Stocks don't just go up and up and up and up. We had, not too long ago as well, a stock like FTFT, right here in the beginning of the day, not knowing what you're owning. So a lot of people got burnt on this bad boy. Right here at $7.50, anticipating it to break up over that VWAP, run up to $8, $9. This company did an offering right in the morning at 11 a.m. Does an offering at $7.65, and it drops down to $7 into a halt. They reopen it, slams down below $6.50. So $1 flush right there, and who knows how many bag holders FTFT caught up. Because now, these people all buying here at $7.50, $8, they've been holding on to it now for that day as it got driven all the way down from $7.50 to $5. They've been holding on to it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight days, and the stock never came back. So now watch. You got to be very observant of this type of stuff. If ever in the future FTFT gets a press release and it gaps up to $7.50, $8 again in the future, remember, everybody who got caught up right up in here, now they're bag holding and they're waiting for this stock. They can hold on to it for weeks. They can hold on to it for months. Heck, they can even hold on to it for years because they're afraid to cut it for a loss. They're a long-term investor now. They'll check stock Twitter every single day. They'll see what other people are saying about this specific stock. And it's only giving them a reasoning. They're looking for that reasoning to continue holding on to that position. And they want to have faith in the company. A lot of these are just dog water companies, guys. They are. They're either on their way out the door or they're just starting up. They're all money hungry. So they're going to try to take that money, reinvest it into the company to grow. Or if they're on their way out the door, they're going to try to make as much money as they can before they close the door on this company. We had other stocks too. There was a lot of reoccurring themes last week. Stocks failed and failed and failed to continue to push up higher. So FTFT, we went over CEMI. And what I mean by that, let me zoom in on this. Look at how many times this stock came up and tested high of day and did not break up higher. That's CEMI. That's one stock. Ticker symbol SOS. And SOS had extreme volume on Wednesday. It had over 300 million in volume. And you could see this stock failed, came up and retested that high of day multiple times, but could not break higher. SOS. We also had ITME. This was a wicked runner. ITME. That should be the name of it. UTME. This day right here. Sure, it was a big epic runner, but it failed to break out there, there, and there. So 3 stocks failing multiple times to break out and push high of day. We also had RICE as well. Even though it eventually did lift right here on Friday, if we go to Thursday right there, this was the day it had the press release, tested high of day multiple times, and failed to continue to push up higher. So I just showed you guys 4 different stocks from last week that were all in play, all of them. And all of them had the same characteristics. They failed to break out and push high of day. So if you're observant and you're noticing that, that's where you have your edge. Oh, versus somebody that has no process, no plan. They're just throwing their money into these stocks. They're following these gurus' alerts. They're chasing after these high of day breakouts because that's what all of these gurus teach. Buy high of day breakouts. Buy 52-week highs. Buy all-time highs. That's what they're all taught. So if they're not paying attention, they're not here every day putting that screen time in. They're not seeing that, okay, 4 different stocks all failed to break out and push high of day. That's the theme. There's a lot of range-bound activity going on. So you have to adjust, and you're the smart money selling at high of day. You're buying when the stock pulls back, selling when it comes to high of day. There was a lot of people that lost a lot of money last week. A lot of money. I seen it all across Twitter, and I also seen it from a few people in different Discord servers. People failing to adjust to the market. And if we look at the indexes, like the SPY's been slowly pushing up to all-time new highs every single day. We're in a currently they call it a market melt up right now. Look at the SPY. This is a daily chart. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 straight green days on the S&P 500. TQQQ, the NASDAQ. Look at it, just non-stop all the way up to its highs. So we had volume drying up every day last week. A lot of range-bound stocks all week. And we seen even Friday, it was like every day the first 20 minutes is when we had to take advantage of opportunity. And then the rest of the day, everything failed to continue. They failed with follow through and they just slowly crumbled apart. UTME, a newer IPO. I want to talk about this one real quick. This thing was just a straight beast. And we were all over this thing. All week we were. Even Friday when we did the live stream in the Discord, we made out on the morning right here when it spiked on Friday. We knew it was setting up for a big bounce because the previous day it just pulled back and just set up. It was gapping up pre-market. It had all the signs of positive momentum was in on it. And I told everybody in the pre-market prep, watch for UTME from this 40s to potentially surge up to $70. I was a few bucks short. This thing ran from 44 all the way up to $66. A $22 push right there out of the open in a matter of minutes. And then after that, it was over with. It was done. But IPO day right here opens up at 12, runs all the way up to 45 bucks. The next day, gaps up near 50, runs all the way up just over 100 bucks. A $50 move to the upside. Right here. Look at that action. All kinds of halts going on. Very volatile move. And I told a lot of people, if you're new to this game, you've only been here for a few months or a year, stay away from this stock. This is an account killer stock. Only trade this stock if you've been around, because this has happened before. Stocks like ADXN from the past, running from $13 to $34. BFRA, running from $6 up to $52. KELYB, from $28 to $92. So these are stocks that I have taken personal snapshots of throughout my career to learn from these types of moves. For when they happen again, like this, I'm prepared, I'm used to the price action, and I could take advantage of it. And that's how I was able to capitalize on this stock a few days last week. This was where I made a lot of my money. On this specific day right here, waited, didn't trade it at all Thursday. I just let it pull back like a rubber band. And then Thursday, right out of the gates, great opportunity on it. We also had RICE. This came out with a news release on Thursday. Closed pretty strong near its high of day. The next day, Friday, still holding on to that 14. We had a game plan on RICE. We said if it can continue to hold up above 14, 1350, it's still bullish sentiment. So keep this on watch. Right out of the gates, got quick pops on it, consolidating, holding that 14 line, and then just boom, explodes all the way up to almost $17. A nice, what, from 14 to almost $17. That's a $3 move to the upside in minutes. This stock was super explosive. Look at the surge on that thing. Just one candle from 15 all the way up to 15.98. So we're seeing like an 85-cent, 90-cent surge in one candle. That's pretty impressive. And even on this day right here, when it had that squeeze right here, from 13.95 surges up to 15.15. Wow. That's like a $1.30 surge in a 1-minute candle right there. Beautiful squeeze on this bad boy. If I remember correctly, I think I have chart from that too. It's gonna be up there. This was on Thursday. We had a lot going on Thursday. But you can, by just sitting there and watching the price action, here it was right here. From just sitting there and watching the price action on these types of stocks, I knew something was going on with this stock here. I knew it. I knew shorts were trapped. They were underwater. It came back up. It reclaimed VWAP and then just surged beautifully. Look at that. 9,000 shares I bought at $14. I gave it till $13.50. If it dropped below $13.50, I would have cut it. And then that $1.25 candle from 13.50 surging up to 15, and then it continued surging up even higher, and I'm exiting out of my position near 16, making almost 14,000. Heck yeah. That's 4 months of work the average Joe has to work to make $14,000. 4 months. And that's in one trade. Here at Trading Learning 101, you guys hear me all the time. I'm preaching. It's all about quality, not quantity. You had I use a 55 EMA. That's what that blue line is here. Came right up to the VWAP and just squeezed over that VWAP. Beautiful surge on this bad boy. And then just by paying attention to the stock's personality, you see before that it likes to surge like this. Fast forward to Friday, it does the exact same thing. Beautiful surge right there, because it's the stock's personality. A few of you guys were able to take advantage of RICE Friday, I seen. So, a lot of traders last week got burnt. They did, because they failed to adjust. They had no plan. They had no process. Remember, guys, we're professionals. Every single trade, we have a plan and we have a process. We're here every day. We're observing what's going on, staying familiar with all of these stocks. The markets are thinner than you think. Keep that in mind going into next week, guys, okay? Nothing has squeezed up too much. When I say nothing has squeezed up too much, we've had a lot of stocks just consistently test high of day, high of day, high of day, high of day. And then the next day, it'll still hang around and push up a bit higher. Options are driving the markets. Everything is owned by indexes and ETFs. So I want to keep RICE on watch going into next week, of course, because this thing's just a straight beast. I mean, from $10, it's all the way up to $20 now. 2 straight powerful days on this. Let's see, and we still have a big gap to fill on that daily chart, all the way up to near $30. Here's the daily chart. So the first day here, it was gapping up. We already knew. Let's see if this can hold 14. We got a big, huge gap here in the chart. That's an error in the chart. And look what happened. The stock pushed up, keeps pushing up. It's still got room to push up to that 1850. And then it's got all of this to potentially push up to. I think it might stall out right here, though, at like $20. So it's got room to still push up. And I want to keep an eye on it for it to make that type of move. So I'm going to write that down in my notebook. I'm going to keep an eye on RICE. I also like FUBO. FUBO on the daily chart. You draw a trend line here, connecting all of the lower highs on it all the way down. You could see this even had a big surge on it right here on Friday. Let's zoom in on that. So here Friday, it ran from 2150 all the way up to almost 2550. A $4 push right there out of the open. So a stock that can push like that and it has range, it's got plenty of volume. Yeah, you best believe I want to keep an eye on a stock like this. So keep FUBO on watch. Look for it to continue holding up above 2250, I'm going to say, and 22. If it drops down below 2250, it's starting to look bad. But the more it can hang up above that, I want to try to stay familiar with this stock, observe it, because it looks like the personality it likes to have is it likes to have big, nice surges up like this, death grind surges up, and then just fade off hard. There's one here, and then there's one right here. So paying attention, listening to what stock is telling you it likes to do in the past. Float is too on a little bit on the higher side, 51 million. So I'm going to add that to my list too. I have a notepad and a pen in front of me, so whenever I pause for a moment, I'm just writing these tickers down. Yeah, you're going to see a lot of class action lawsuits on small cap companies because they're garbage companies and people don't know what they invest their money into. They never look into the filings and stuff. And when a stock's up here at 53 back in February and it just for months just declines and declines and declines, you're going to have people complaining and raising, hell, because they're like, that's not fair. Stocks are supposed to go up, not slowly decay for months. And they're going to want their money back and be obnoxious and stubborn and not accept that well, I just threw all my money into a garbage company I don't know nothing about. I'm a big believer, and I always say it to you guys, if you're going to swing something or if you're going to invest into something, know about it. Know what you own. All right. CLOV. You can see this daily chart had a nice pop up here to $9. It could pop up to 10, $11. It's like every dollar it could run into resistance. The float on it's 107 million. I know eyes are going to be on this stock. This could have a nice bounce on it. It really could. I mean, look at how much this thing just rocketed right here on Thursday. So from 720 just surges all the way up to 920. And then Friday pulls all the way down to 8. This could bounce back up to $9. So we could see a nice little dollar bounce on this. But then if this gets up and above 9 and 950, watch for a squeeze. Shorts could get trapped on it and get squeezed out. So if this can continue to hold $8, I like that $8. They can continue to hold that $8 and push up to that 9 and get over, I like it. CLOV. We also had XL on watch last week. Earlier in the week, this gave a good opportunity. Monday, it didn't do anything, but Tuesday and Wednesday, that's when it really heated up. This was on the weekly watch list. So Monday, we put this on watch. And then Tuesday and Wednesday is when it really started to heat up, running from 7 all the way up to almost $11. But then after that, just completely crumbled apart. Thanks for subscribing, Quirky J. So even just drawing a Fibonacci retracement on this, needs to get back up over that 850. And this could run all the way back up to 950 up here. I'll just keep it on my watch list. I'm not really going to pay too much attention to it. I'm just going to throw this down at the bottom of my list. RMO. This could have a good bounce on it. Very nice day here. When was this? Tuesday? Running from 830s all the way up to 1350. And then pulling back now for 1, 2, 3 straight days. That's the stuff that I like to see. Especially when it has a lot of volume right here on this big green day here. The more this stock starts to pull back, the better the bounce could be. So keep RMO on watch next week for it to get a nice surge back up to 11, 1150. So I'm just going to put RMO, watch for bounce. And this is what we're doing, guys. We're doing what everybody else doesn't do. We're putting together plans. Doing this every single night, you're already separating yourself from everybody else. You're prepared. That's like, you have to consider yourself like a professional athlete. That's like two teams making it to the Super Bowl and then not practicing or strategically putting together a plan to beat the opponent when it comes time to game day. If you don't do that, making a watch list and looking back on like how NFL players, they go back and they watch film on their opponents. They see mistakes that they make. They see specific little special things that they like to do. Like a lineman might like to shove off on offensive men and then go after the quarterback. He has like a special flip turnaround twist move that he likes to do. That's how you prepare, know your opponent, and then when it comes down to game time, you're ready to go. So keep in mind as well, not all stocks have to bounce. I mean, look at last week when we had all of those stocks that Goldman Sachs just block sold. What was it? VIAC was one of them. Just because stocks have big sell-offs, they don't necessarily have to bounce. We just keep an eye on them for a bounce that could happen. So VIAC, look at that massive sell-off from $100 all the way down to $40. It did have a little bounce right here, but that ain't nothing. A $1 or a $50 drop like that and a stock only perking up $10, $8 like that, that ain't nothing. And now look at it's getting driven down even more. So being patiently, staying familiar with these stocks, always going back, glancing and checking on them, maybe setting alerts. See, I'll set an alert here at 44, set an alert at 46, 47, 48, and then throughout the day, if my alerts get triggered, it'll alert me and give a sound, VIAC, price alert, 46. Then maybe 10 minutes later, VIAC, price alert, 47. Like, all right, I just seen 2 price alerts go off on VIAC. I might want to look into that. But I'm still going to keep an eye on VIAC. This could have a wicked bounce someday in the future. And if I stay relevant and keep this stock on close tabs and watch, that day it does bounce, it's going to be wicked, guys, I'm telling you. It's going to be a great bounce because everybody's going to have it hitting their alerts. Everybody's going to be chasing after it. Everybody's going to be like, it's time. It's now. I'm loading up. That's a big drop off from 100 all the way down to 40. It's like a 40% discount. 40, that's more than that. 60% discount right here. So I'm going to write down at the bottom of my list, VIAC, still no bounce. At 40. Now, other stocks that went with that, what was it? DISCA. The Discovery still hasn't bounced yet. This thing's still wedging out. Got a big old wedge right here forming. So it could be setting up for a bounce here soon, or it could be just consolidating before it heads lower. It's a 50-50. You don't know which way it wants to go yet. Selling may not be over with. Just because stocks have big sell-offs like that doesn't mean they necessarily have to bounce. There's always that possibility that they couldn't bounce. Our job as traders, just observe it, take it day by day. No one knows what will happen tomorrow with this stock. Nobody. I don't care who you are. So DISCA, same story. I'm going to write that down too. And it was DISCB. No, that was this one had a big pop-up last week. From 50 up to 150 bucks. That's insane. DISCK. That's the other one. DISCK. And the more you check on these stocks every day, the ticker just burns in your head so you can remember it. AFMD. This has the possibility it could get squeezed. It could. I like the way it's hanging around. You see how I'm paying attention to the little hints? I'm scrolling out, looking at the past. This stock hasn't been up near $10. The stock hasn't been up near $10 in 6 years. So we have a multi-year breakout, and it's doing it on increased volume. 83 million on the day. So if AFMD can continue to hold up above 950, and if it could push up over 1050, shorts are going to be scared and underwater. They're going to be freaking out. They're all going to cover. And this thing can explode up to 11, 1150, 12. Who knows? Keep AFMD on watch Monday. AFMD, I'm going to write squeeze watch. Yeah, Discovery Plus is doing well with that new app and the streaming platform that they have. But there has to be a reasoning why Goldman Sachs unloaded that much. There has to be. They have to know something. If they're unloading that much money and shares to just completely obliviate the stock. So that's what makes me cautious if for long term or swing trading on it. And who knows? The selling may not be over with yet. It hasn't bounced yet. And until that happens, just sit tight. There's no point in jumping in on it and then anticipating it, and then it go down $20 even more, and then bouncing from there. So I like AFMD for a potential squeeze. 108 million float. It's a bigger float on it. And that volume on the day, what was it? $80 million. So they almost rotated the float once. All right, so we covered VIAC, SRNGU. This is a newer IPO. This opened up here February 24th, and it's pushing up. Volume's increasing. It's pushing up to its highs of its IPO day. So keep this on watch. It's reaching all-time new highs. Whenever you have a stock pushing up to all-time new highs like this, you want to keep an eye on that, because think of everybody else. You always want to think of mass psychology. What are other people thinking and seeing? There's a lot of people out here that have their stock scanners and their stock screeners set up to look at stocks making new yearly highs, 52-week highs, higher volume, stuff like that. So if we have this pushing up to its highs up here, we see it before everybody else that will see it when it hits new highs. So if we're ahead and before everybody else, we're the smart money. We see it before everybody else. So if this stock does come up and test high of day and pushes, or not high of day, new highs all time, and pushes up over, and then everybody chases after it, they're pushing us up in profits, and then we're unloading on the dumb money. It's like that saying in that movie, I like to use it, that I think it's Angels in the Outfield or something. And the saying is, if you build it, they will come. Well, I like to say is, if you see it, they will come. Regarding to the setup, if you see the setup before it even happens, and you just keep following up with it, volume will come, because there are traders out there looking out for patterns, breakouts, yearly breakouts, 52-week high breakouts, volume breakouts, moving average breakouts. There's all kinds. There's many, many, many different beliefs in the stock market. So SRNGU, new IPO, near all-time highs. And then for all of you members here watching this live stream today as well, Monday, when we do the pre-market prep, and we all jump in the pre-market prep live stream, we are not going to cover and go into detail on all of these. I may mention them real quickly, but we're here right now putting in the work. We don't need to repeat ourselves, right? And I'll even post it here in the Monday chat, the weekly watch list. Looks like a few of you guys are also taking advantage of this trading buddy chat. That's awesome. Get up in here. If you're a member in the community, this is for members only. Get up in here. Write a little bio about yourself. How long have you been trading? What is your success? What are your struggles? What do you like to trade? What are you looking forward to learning? And then go through and read everybody else's bios. And if you see another person in here that has similar interest or a story to yours, or you like the way that they trade, hit them up. Let them be your trading buddy. That's the whole purpose of this trading buddy thing here. I took this idea from MIC, my investment club, and it's a great idea. Everybody should have a trading buddy, a trading accountability buddy, somebody to hold you accountable to the rules that you have. If you break your rules, your trading accountability buddy should be like, yo, bro, you broke that rule. What are you going to do about that? We're here to consistently make money and obey our trading rules, and you're out here breaking it. What happened? Or if you run into something, talk to each other about it, because we're traders. We all already know not many people out here get what we do. They don't. Not like you could talk to the average Joe about day trading and what's happening in the stock market. We also have a newer IPO too, VECT. Oh, let me see what a couple of you guys are saying here in the chat. Craigslist, love your videos. I will join the Discord soon, buddy. Thanks for the info and hard work. Pretty new, but up over 1K last week. Slowly getting it. It's awesome to hear, man. Keep it up. Keep it up. I don't use hotkeys while I trade. I don't. You're gonna see a lot of different traders out there. Everybody's different. Everybody has what works for them. Some traders are really good at using the level 2 and the tape, and they use the level 2 to quickly enter and exit with trades. You're gonna see other traders just using the chart. There's all kinds of different beliefs, strategies that are out there. And what's the most important thing is for you specifically, to find what you're comfortable with and what type of strategy that you personally like. Because there's all types of different trading vehicles in the stock market. There's stocks that move up slow. Some traders like those types of stocks that move up slow. They can manage their risk very, very easily doing that. Other traders like stocks that like to shoot up and run up real fast. They like those real volatile stocks. Some traders don't like stocks that shoot up and rip up violently, dollars at a time like that. They freak out. They don't have enough time to process what's going on. They can't manage their risk. So they stay away from those fast moving stocks. They much rather trade and pay attention to slow moving stocks. There's people out there that like to trade options. There's people out there that like to trade large cap stocks, medium cap stocks, small cap stocks, OTC stocks, pink sheet stocks, ETFs. There's people out there that only strictly trade ETFs and indexes. So there's multiple different trading vehicles in the market, and it's up to you to learn what's all out here and then pick whatever suits your personality. All right, with VECT pushing up here from $20 up to $38 in one day right here, you best believe people are going to keep an eye on this bad boy. So I'm going to keep an eye on VECT for any type of bounce or just to see what it does, period. So I'm going to write this down. VECT new IPO watch. CELC. You see, I was already drawing some lines here on Friday. This stock was in play Friday. It failed to break up and push a couple times throughout the day, and it failed here from 23, came all the way down to 19, but it came all the way back, and even after hours pushing up. So watch CELC going into Monday, push up over 25. It's still near its highs, so it's still in play. I'd look for it to hold up above 20, 21 for it to be in play. I'll be interested in probably playing the range on this type of stock. It's showing me that it doesn't like to break out because it fails multiple times throughout the day, failing at high of day. I got FBIO. Stock's been pushing up for 3 straight days, from 4 all the way up to 6. If they can get up above this $5, 550, it hasn't been up near this level since 2013. So another potential multi-year breakout. Look at that. It's just a nice ramp all the way up on that 10-minute. I like it. Continue to keep watch on it, FBIO. And all of these stocks that I'm adding to my list, I already have, 12 stocks on my list now already, and we're still going. Necessarily, I'm not going to be keeping an eye on every single one of these stocks. I want them on a watch list, though, to filter, and so I can quickly run through them all throughout the day to see if anything could potentially set up. We talked about RMO, XL. We also have, this is a higher priced stock, but Dash. Dash recently from 220 ran all the way down $100 to 120. Sold off, went sideways, consolidated. If this can start breaking out and pushing up, this most definitely could run right back up to $200. This is more of like a swing trade, not like a day trade or anything, but for you swing traders out there, you have a good setup here on Dash potentially. STPK. I like this daily chart. You could draw a line right here. You could see it was obeying that line all right here and getting really tight. And with that grain moving average, you see how it was holding that line. It got real tight. So now that this is pushing up to that blue line up here, watch for this to pull back down and touch that 26, hold that, or even 28 and bounce off of that. Again, this is another potential swing trade opportunity. Maybe it will set something up for a day trade, but I really feel like that this is a swing trade opportunity. I really like that daily chart. And if all the stars align, let me get my chart back. If all the stars align on the intraday chart here, the 10-minute and the 3-minute, I may take a day trading stab at this. So STPK, I like this one too. I know there's a few people in our community that are always on the lookout for swing trades. So I just gave you guys 2 potential candidates. 3, 4 of them too, including that VIAC and Discovery. FBIO had a recent pump from Tip Ranks. All right, thanks for that. Steam. That's FBIO. Well, let's see here. Not necessarily, because here on April 9th, right here, we have a bunch of Form 4s. And what Form 4s are, that's insider transactions. So if the prices have been going up since all these Form 4s on April 9th, my guess is they're buying. So let's see if I'm right. They could be disposing, but I think they're buying. So here on, we have the code. Code A is acquiring. The amount 1,030,000. Code A acquiring. They bought 1 million, just over, well, they acquired 1 million worth, and they got 11,000 shares. This one specific person here. Let's take a look at another one. So we have acquire A. Well, just over 1 million, acquiring 10,000. So all of these guys are acquiring shares. So I don't think it's a pump. It's just recent insider transactions. These people could be getting awarded stock shares as a bonus, or they're buying shares of the company. They believe in the company. They wanna load up on shares. That's what I like about Street Smart Edge. They show you all the SEC filings that drop out recently on it. That's one of the reasons why I love Street Smart Edge. But FBIO, keep it on watch. I think it could continue pushing for sure. Someone said EBON. Uh, Man, there might be some heavy diluting here. Just some nasty sell-offs on this thing. It could bounce on it, but I don't really see it bouncing much. If I'm going to keep an eye on a stock for a big bounce, like the most that I see this stock bouncing is maybe $1. Maybe. I want to see stocks rip dollars, not grind up all day $1. It could bounce up $1, but when you look at that 10-minute and the daily chart on this, it just doesn't look tempting, and that's just me personally. Nothing really looks interesting on this chart to me. Nothing. Maybe if you're a swing trader, but I haven't really got to look into the SEC filings on this company. I don't know if they're diluting, I'm not a swing trader. I'm a day trader. So, ugh, this is a tough one. A lot of big price swings on it though recently. But who knows? It may run all the way back up. It may not. Who knows? All right, a hot stock last week was ACY. Going into even last Friday, you all remember ACY. This thing ran from 4 all the way up to almost $20. And then every single day, this stock had a good opportunity to buy the morning bell open, and it would just surge up over and over. And then it got weaker and weaker and weaker. You could draw a big line on this thing, and you just see it got weaker every single day. And now it's just slowly starting to crack down below here. It's still in play. I would keep an eye on it. You never know what could happen. This thing could just fire back up and be up to 20 in a heartbeat. The Man, if it starts to drop down below 9, I'm going to say it's over with, which is right there. But if it can hang around, we could see some good spike opportunities on this thing. You could see here as well on the 3-minute, I drew a big wedge on it right here. And it started to break down below it. So it's got to get through 11, 12, and it's on the AMEX. So that's a risky business type thing too. If you're a part of the community here, you guys all know I try to stay away from American stock exchange stocks. So AMEC, just keep it on the watch list to just see what happens with it. I'm not necessarily excited for it. Maybe it'll spike, maybe it won't. Let's learn from it, is what I'm trying to say. Keep eyes on it. I'm going to write down that stock as well. I mean, we still have a lot of stocks on our watch list. That's how you know this market's still pretty fire. I've seen times, guys, when these markets went into corrections, there'd be like maybe 1-0 stocks on my watch list. There was nothing in play. All right, Soho. This came up just like the reoccurring theme last week. Seen how many times this tested Hive Day? And it just failed. Keep it on the back burner. You never know what could come of this. If it starts to push up above 22, 23, look at that daily. So right here, 22 pushes up above. It can run up to 25. I mean, this thing, if it gets up to here, we're looking at highs from 2018. So it's a multi-year breakout from here. It hasn't been up near this level since 2018. So keep SOHU on your watch. And when I mean keep these on watch, like what I do, I have a weekly watch list. Every Sunday, I'm going to add all these stocks that I'm mentioning to this list. And then throughout the week, this upcoming week, I'm always filtering through and blowing through those stocks to see how they play out. So SOHU. This stream has been going for a while too. We've been on now for what, 2 hours? Do you need level 2 to see the filings? No, SEC filings, that's something you look up on sec.gov. The level 2 is the market. That's the market. The market maker makes a market with the bid and the ask. It's bonus time for us, and we get RSU, so the bonus theory is spot on. Yup. Instead of giving out money, they give you shares of a company that you're working for. And then you got to think about all of these companies as well, all the employees with their 401ks every week. You know, they can be contributing their own money into the company they're working for. Opinion on some of the banks going into earnings this week. I have no clue. I don't really pay attention to the banks that much. I just pay attention to what's gapping up on the scanners every day and what's been in play recently. I I keep things simple. I really do. I love what I do, but there's a lot of like distractions out there in the markets, and you could easily get lost into read. Like, there's so much in the market, guys. There is so much. You may be interested in the banks, and you can make a living off of trading the bank stocks and tracking the bank stocks. There's people out here that love ETFs, gold ETFs, oil ETFs, the indexes. There's so many areas in the stock market. It'd be crazy for one person to try to keep track of every little area in the stock market. This is why I have a community here, because as traders start to develop, they start to find what they like. Like, I have people in here that strictly only trade ETFs. They only pay attention to ETFs. And I'll see them in the community here comment about the ETFs. So I have multiple eyes now in the market. So we're all working together. If I have one person in my community that's paying attention to the ETFs, he's going to comment what he's seeing and what he's noticing. And then there may be somebody in here that trades options, and they can comment like, hey guys, there's a lot of unusual volume in the options on, let's say, NVIDIA, and that's another eye in the market in that little specific area. So we're all in here watching each other's backs, having multiple eyes in the markets. And when you have multiple eyes in the markets and we're all working together, it just makes our job easier. So with your comment on the banks, with them going into earnings, you could be the bank guy in this community. So you see a bank, they just do blowout earnings. JP Morgan Chase has record earnings for Q2. None of us really realize that. And you pay attention and follow the banks. You could comment in the community, hey guys, you guys know I follow the banks. JP Morgan Chase just put out record numbers. I'd pay attention to it. And it alerts the whole community. Bada boom, bada bang. So when it comes to that question, though, I don't pay attention to it. If it's the number one gapper, if a bank stock is the number one gapper on the gap scanner in the morning, I'll pay attention to it. Oh, so the midlife adventure said, no, I mean they put out an article with 2 penny stocks and they were a must buy. And within a half hour, the stock definitely pushed higher. So probably an analysis upgraded the stock, probably from a hold or a neutral to a buy. You're going to see that a lot in the stock market. They still technically are. It is promotion, but it's the legal way. These analysis out here, you see it all the time. They upgrade, downgrade stocks, and that could be one thing you pay attention to. That's how you could make your money, just off of paying attention to these analysis, upgrading and downgrading stocks. You guys all know Citron Research. They put an article out on a company. They're known for shorting companies. And a lot of times they put articles out on a specific company, it just gets demolished because a lot of people follow Citron Research. You guys ain't subscribed to this channel, you guys are missing out. I know a lot of stuff. I've been doing this for 5-6 years. Patricia asked, is an ascending wedge valid over several days? Of course it is. because you're going to have it on multiple time frames. So a stock like ACY patterns. And you could see here too, if you draw a line right here, it's getting pushed down very, very hard, like you're pushing down on something with your thumb. Just look at the price action get pushed down like that. There's pretty extreme selling going on. But Patricia, the bigger the time frame you see a pattern, the bigger that move could be. Just remember that. If you see a wedge on a daily chart, that could be a pretty big move. The bigger the time frame, the bigger the move could be. Just keep that in mind. Because you have traders all out here, and I just made a video recently, if you guys forgot about it, why 95% of traders fail. Go to my videos right here. Almost 300 views now. Why 95% of traders fail. And I also put out a poll too. If you guys weren't here for that poll, when did we put that poll out, guys? Was it Wednesday? Let me see. And it all revolves around emotions and psychology. Nobody pays attention to that type of stuff. I think it was Wednesday I put that poll out. I can't remember what day it was. Or was it Tuesday? That'd be crazy if it was still active. So 52 votes. A lot of people said all of the above. Followed by risk management, and then both psychology and emotional intelligence. 3 people said technical analysis. Then I got 3 votes for psychology, and only 1 person put down emotional intelligence. I knew I should have took out that all of the above. I shouldn't have had that. I should have had just these 4 in it. But emotional intelligence is so huge. It really is. Because without emotional intelligence builds everything. It builds finding out who you are, learning new things, what you're good at, what you're not good at, what triggers your emotions. And with your emotional intelligence, you learn about psychology, your risk management, managing your risk with these types of stocks. I mean, it's a whole big world in this type of field, and not many people pay attention to psychology, emotional intelligence. A lot of these gurus out here on YouTube, hardly any of them, you'll ever hear any of them talk about emotional intelligence and psychology. They may just briefly mention it, but they won't dive into it because it's the key to your trading success. It really is. They want to keep you following them with technical analysis and trading alerts. They want you to need them. So they're not going to give you the key to success. They're going to string you along and make sure that you rely on them. And that's how they make their money. And honestly, if I'm wrong, tell me. Who else out there preaches about emotional intelligence and psychology? Almost every single one of my videos, you guys hear me constantly talking about that type of stuff. And this is why it takes a long time for people to learn. Because nobody brings it up and tells those guys, hey, you have to pay attention to your emotional intelligence, learning who you are, what you're good at, what you're not good at, and start developing strategies and trading styles in a playbook based around your emotional intelligence and learning about mass psychology. All these guys out here do is teach you all about technical analysis and risk management. But you can't have risk management, like I said, without emotional intelligence. It's so huge. And that statistic, remember guys, 95% of traders fail. And look at the poll. Only one vote for emotional intelligence out of 52. One vote. 95% of traders fail. So that just goes to show you something right there. We just had that conversation the other day too. When it comes down to it, learning technical analysis and chart patterns, that stuff's easy. Super easy. It's learning and psychology and emotional intelligence and working on yourself that's the hard part. Yeah, most definitely watch that video. Why 95% of traders fail. I drop a lot of golden nuggets in that. Blue 6 says, I may be wrong, but I think emotional intelligence is monitoring your own emotions while trading. Psychology is what others will do. You nailed it right on the head, Blue 6. Like monitoring yourself, like at 9:30 when that bell rings and the stock market opens, monitoring yourself. What are you doing? Are you all up close? You're shaking, your adrenaline's going. You're already looking to buy the second that market opens. Like little notices like that. And then are you failing a lot of the time? Are you losing most of your money when you do that? For me, I noticed I make a lot of my money 30 minutes after the market opens. I find the easiest and less stressful trades 30 minutes after the market opens. Sure, there are great opportunities when that market opens up, but it's about having that discipline and waiting for your specific setups. Setups that you've seen happen over and over and over again. And also, don't forget, guys, this Tuesday, we're going to do part 6 of the masterclass. Part 6, you guys are going to like part 6. We're going to go over the fundamentals, the news, what to look for every morning pre-market, how I make my watch list, and how I break it down step by step to form my watch list every day. What I look for in the news, the press releases, keywords. So you guys are going to really like that one. That's going to be Tuesday. We'll do it. Normally we've been doing it Tuesdays, 11 a.m. All right, so let's run through real quickly the end of this watch list and see what we will keep on and what we'll keep off. Let me pull up my day. Well, I got my daily right here. GTBP. It's a bit of a higher float. I don't really care for it. UTME. I'm gonna be watching this. Heck yeah. I know it's getting pretty late too, guys. But I honestly don't mind doing this type of stuff. This is what I do for a living. I ain't got no morning job or nothing. But Glue 6, I know you got school in the morning, so yeah, get to bed. We already have Rice on watch. ATNF. It's near its highs. All-time highs are at 11. So ATNF, and it's a medium float at 13.8 million. Yeah, I'll keep it on my watch list. ATNF. I'm going to keep that on. GLSI. Recent super volatile stock. $50 to $70. Pulled back. We could see a nice bounce on this. I'll keep it on my watch list. And this is what I do every single day, guys. Every day pre-market, I'll run through real quickly to see if this chart is still looking good and in play, or if volume's starting to fade off on it, I'll get rid of it. EYES, I'll keep it on there. Never know what could happen with it. HGEN, this stock got beat up. I'm not gonna pay attention to it. PLBY, yeah, I'll keep this on watch. This thing ran near Easter and even a couple days after Easter, and it's pulled back. It's been going sideways. It could definitely push right back up to that 29.30 level. So PLBY, I'm going to keep it on my watch list. And then if you guys comment something, just give me a moment. I'm just going to quickly run through these right here. MVIS, I'll leave it on my watch list. DISCA, we'll keep that on. TKAT. It's still hanging around. I like that. Especially on this 10-minute. It's holding up above that 32. Keep it on watch. TKAT along with OCG. And it might be too late. Let's see. Yeah. WKEY is just getting hammered down like a nail. It's safe to take it off. DERY, this was a pump and dump. Wednesday. It may have a bounce on it. It could. I'm actually going to set a price alert on this. $15.50. Wafu. Look at all the spikes on this thing days after. It's big run up here. And even on the 10-minute. Just a pump and dump stock. That's all it is. Man, I got a lot of stocks on my weekly watch. Rail is probably done for. BNSO pretty much failed miserably up over that 10. It is still lingering around. The float is super low on it at 1.2 million. 750 is the bottom line. If it falls below that, it's over with. But if this thing could perk up, get up over 10, and start pushing, who knows? I'll just keep it on. KOSS along with GameStop. I'm going to keep that on watch. ISIG, just a pump and dump. RMO, I already have it on. ACY, DLPN. CMMB. Yeah, look at how much this moved. From 26 all the way up to 70 and then pulled back right here. This could have a nice snap back up on it. Look at that 10-minute. It's got a nice little setup on the 10-minute too. Very, very risky stock for newer people. Stay away from it. I'm just going to keep it on my watch to see how it plays out. And then what I do. This is my Monday, Tuesday. Then I'll go through here. And I'll just delete all of these. So I could start the week fresh on this list. Then I go to my weekly watch. And then I start adding all these stocks in. Rice. FUBO. CLOV. RMO, AFMD, SRNGU, VECT, CELC, STPK, ACY, SOHU, UTME, ATNF, GLSI, EYES, MVIS, TKAT, OCG, VERY, DNSO, CMMB, DISCA, DISCK, VIAC, XL. See, that's a lot of stocks just for my back burner watch list. So this market's still pretty hot. There's a lot of opportunity out here. All of these stocks, I see potential opportunity. That's why I have it on my back burner. So I got my weekly watch. And then if I wanted, I could go through the percentage gainers for that day. And then now I could see if there's any potential percentage gainers that catch my attention. Like CGA here. Nice little wedge on this. Pushing up to multi-year highs. Up over 8, it can run up to 9. $5 million float on it. All right, see a couple of you guys here. LGHL. Not interested. RYCEY. RECEY. RYCEY. Under $2 and it's a barcode stock. Not interested. Raised on Metal Watchlist organization is something I'm working on big time. And realizing it is very important for success. Exactly. I like the saying, if you focus on garbage, you're going to get garbage. If you focus on quality, you're going to get good quality setups. This, for an example, I can't even say the name of this stock. The tongue twister. RYCEY. I don't see nothing on this stock. It's moving fractions of a penny. The float on it is massively huge at 8.4 billion. So RYC YCEY. Look at the float on that. 8.2 billion. So the float is the available supply that's out there for the public to trade. You have 8.2 billion shares out there for the public to trade. So if you break it down as simply as you can, the stock market revolves off of supply and demand, right? If you have demand there, prices should go up. But if you have a huge abundance of supply of something and not much demand, prices are not really going to move up. So with a 8.2 billion float, that's why the stock is barcoding out. There's just way too much supply out there and not enough demand. The stock really isn't doing anything. Average volume the past 5 days on this is only 7 million. So you see how I'm breaking all of this stuff down and going through the process like a checklist? There's no opportunity here on this. They've probably been heavily diluting this stock for a long time. But at least they pay a dividend. They pay like $1.91 every quarter. LTNC. These penny stocks I'm not really interested in. I don't pay attention to stocks under $2, $3. Sure, you can make money on it and it's volatile and moving up like that, but you really have to load up. Like you have to buy 500,000 shares just for the stock to move. And with risk management, the more shares you have to buy of something, your risk only goes up. Too many noobs trade these penny stocks like this. That's why I try to stay away. It leads to randomness. It really does. And that's no offense to you or anything, but this is just my preference. I don't pay attention to these types of stocks. The shares outstanding is 6.6 billion. So you have a huge amount of supply out there. And the average 5-day volume is only 209 million. It's just not for me. DRNK. Another penny stock. Not even interested. LGHL. Oh, we covered LGHL. I don't really see it doing anything. I really don't. STZ. All right. There's potential here on STZ. It needs to hold that 220. It looks like they might have tried shaking out people right here because they brought it right back up. And it's testing that mental area 125. If it makes a new low, it's going to probably continue holding, but it looks like buyers are trying to step in. This could run right back up here. Right up to 235, 236. It could run up to here. Maybe even 230. It just blows my mind that there's people out here that are paying attention to stocks that are moving tenths of a penny. And then you got stocks like UTME moving from $11 to $107. And nobody's paying attention to something like this. But they'll pay attention to a stock that's moving fractions of a penny up and down, just back and forth. It's because they have $100 and they can buy 100,000 shares of it. And they imagine and think, what if it moves up 10 pennies? I'll be rich. It's always been like that. Even when I first started, I got gravitated and I liked the penny stocks, LTNC stocks like that, 6 pennies. But I'm telling you right now, just move past them. There too many noobs are just randomly buying these and holding them. A lot of shady things going on with it. But everybody sees opportunity in multiple different areas. For me, I don't care for this right here. I really don't. I don't pay attention to it. But that's a good move. I mean, from 0005 all the way up to 7 pennies, almost 8 pennies. That's a good move. But the day it falls, just be careful. Remember, the more shares you have of something, the more your risk increase. And the pink sheets and OTC markets, I mean, that's the Wild West. You don't need much regulation to trade these types of stocks. I mean, anybody can get listed on the OTC pink sheet market. All you need is a PO box. There's a tip right there for you OTC stocks and pink sheet stock traders. You see companies like this, look into the profile and then look up their address. Let's see where this company's located and look it up on Google Maps. So LTNC, we got 32070 Florence Road, Suite 200, Powder Springs, Georgia. This is their website. See, look at their address is a PO box. Let's look this company up on Google Earth. This is a trick that I learned from Timothy Sykes. All right, so their address is 3270 Florence, Florence Road, STE 200, Powder Springs, Georgia. So that's where that company says they're located, right here. I mean, that's a pretty fancy building for a penny stock. What's the front up here say? First Citizens. That's a bank. That's a bank. Wonder what that sign says. First Citizens. It's pretty crazy the technology we got, ain't it, guys? But with some of these penny stocks, even just looking up the address, you'd be amazed where they're located. Like, some of them are in the middle of the desert, like nowhere. When you get involved with these pink sheet OTC stocks, that's some shady stuff. It really is. It's taking a while for this thing to load, but we just looked up the address that's right here on Street Smart Edge. This penny stock. Right there. And it led us straight to a bank. And then when you go to their website, they have a P.O. box. So this is why I say consider yourself a detective and a scientist. On the detective part, you see how I was snooping around and I'm looking up the address on Google Maps. I'm seeing where they're pinpointed, where they say they're located. And then I go to their website. Now they have a P.O. box. Little things like that. LTNC is the most pumped stock on Twitter, and the share structure and people involved are clearly shady. It was a staffing company 2 months ago, and now they sell canned water. It's absurd. Huh. Yeah, that is pretty crazy. They could be leasing a little office in that building. Yeah, you're right. They very well could be. I don't know. I don't live in the area, but all outside of the building, though, it just said First Citizens. And even on that big sign, I zoomed in on it and you could clearly see First Citizen. And normally, if you're in a strip mall, it would have a listing of all the companies that are in there. But I'm not going to waste any more energy on it. I don't trade those stocks. If you're into those types of stocks, learn from Timothy Sykes. He's an expert on finding scammy companies and shorting them. All right, guys, it's getting pretty late. It's already going on 11 a.m. my time. Thanks for joining me, guys, in tonight's Sunday Stock Talk. Get prepared, guys. Monday, we about to rock and roll. If you guys are interested in joining up and being a part of the community, hit that subscribe button. Head on over to my channel. And click that join button right here. When you click the join button, I have a little introduction video for you. And you could also join the Discord. And if you just want to check out what the Discord's all about, I have an option right here for 20 bucks. Send me a message with your YouTube username. We'll unlock the Discord for you so you can see how we work as a team and operate. And then if you want to upgrade to the Ultimate Pass, where we do pre-market prep every day, we have member-only videos, and every month I do a masterclass. This Tuesday, we're going to be doing part 6 of the masterclass. And like I mentioned earlier, this masterclass, part 6, we're going to jump into how I look into the news, keywords that I look out for, how I develop a watch list, and what I look for in the stocks gapping up and gapping down, how I formulate a list every day. You guys want to be a part of a community? Most definitely. Doing this stuff all on your own, it's super, super hard. And like we said at the beginning of this video, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to blow up accounts. And then they're going to go off searching for communities and stuff. So act now before it's too late. I'm telling you guys, invest in yourself.